Finding an information architect that focuses solely on IA is a tough find in today's market. The modern UX designer is expected to have an awareness of several disciplines, including IA. Information architects that I've worked with in the past have since broadened their skill set to include a wider range of disciplines from the design spectrum. Nevertheless, common tasks of IAs include research, navigation creation, wireframing, labeling, and data modeling. Most of these tasks are valuable because of the process they follow, and some also result in deliverables that you can present back to the client. Let's dive in and have a closer look. First up is user research and analysis. To grasp project objectives, IAs need access to the results of usability tests, card sorting exercises, stakeholder interviews, and user interviews, just to name a few. Often, an information architect will take an active role in facilitating interviews or card sorts where they can see firsthand how a user labels and categorizes content. After analyzing the data, they may present the information to the rest of the team as a spreadsheet or a set of recommendations, or even as a set of user personas that will showcase who the typical user is, what their goals are, and how they might engage with the product. Most typically, IAs are known for creating navigation and menus. We normally associate this method of content creation to websites and other digital products, but this technique is used everywhere, from traditional libraries to museums and hospitals. For an IA to create a navigational system that makes sense, they must consider what the user is expecting to see. For example, on larger e-commerce websites, products are typically grouped into taxonomies. Those taxonomies are then grouped into much larger menu items that are usually accessible in the primary menu navigation. Deciding what these taxonomies are called and how the user can navigate to them is the job of the IA. Typically, the deliverable of an IA is a sitemap. This doesn't have to be anything special. It can be a few quick sketches on a piece of paper, or something slightly more interactive that can be shared between stakeholders. IAs also use wireframes as a way to communicate their ideas and visualize the content hierarchies they've created. Based on the information gathered during research and the decisions made during hierarchy creation, an IA will sketch out certain key screens in order to demonstrate how a user will interact with the information available. What's more, deciding what things are called is crucial. In fact, it's super crucial. An IA will spend an incredible amount of time and energy coming up with the right labels and names for elements that sit across your website. Like I mentioned previously, a taxonomy is a collection of content that is grouped together. Taxonomies are typically created in conjunction with the user research that would or should have been conducted at the beginning of the project. From this research, you should have a good picture of how your users group content. They may then tag content with metadata so that users can search for content based on the assumed taxonomies. For example, a groceries website might consider multiple taxonomies, one based on cupboard food, frozen food, fresh food, and so on. The IA would then tag an item of food with fresh, frozen, or cupboard, thus making it easier for the user to find relevant results when they search for an item such as fresh orange juice. Also referred to as content modeling, this work may be shared with a content strategist. Data modeling pairs an IA with developers in order to determine structured content types that represent user needs, business logic and requirements, and internal editorial practices. In the case of website redesigns, new data models will often need to be mapped to existing structures in order to assure a smooth content migration. This kind of work is often done in spreadsheets, mapping out field types and relationship requirements, but it is sometimes also implemented directly into a CMS. Data modeling can also result in the creation of documented content types or content templates, so a content strategist or copywriter can use them when creating content.